how many people do you know, and maybe have even experienced yourself, who do networking poorly and get very little out of it?
I would argue most people.
I'm not even going to argue it. I'm going to say most people.
Just people in general.
Yeah. So for myself, and I'll share some of the experience here, one of the things that's enabled me to jump levels quickly is network.
Yep.
And we've mentioned it on the show many times, but I can literally map out inflection points in my business life, my investing life, my health, right? Even when I got into cycling, getting into a cycling network of really strong cyclists, performance went up, right? Network has been the thing that it's enabled big leaps because it removed so much trial and error.
Yeah.
So the why it works is because you don't have to sit there and work things out yourself. You can kind of, copy off your classmate. Well, how are you doing this? And like they actually encourage it in this stage of life. One of the ironies, right? You copy off your classmate in high school, that stuff not so much liked. But when you get into the business world, if you were to look at someone else's approach to doing business, it's like the idea is to model. And I realize there's a degree of like, you're not trying to copy or steal someone's ideas.
No, you totally are. I get it.
How funny.
But I like this one. So some of my failures or my difficult times has been not networking appropriately. I don't know, Charlie, did you were you ever the one to send a birthday and a New Year's message to everyone in your network to make sure that you're maintaining friendships?
I never do that.
Like this, just have the list of people and you make sure you note down all their birthdays. It's like, happy birthday! Networking, done.
I don't want to pick on mortgage brokers. But of the mortgage brokers I've dealt with, the collect CRM data that managed to, even this year, send me a Happy New Year's message and birthday messages and things like that. Noting my own broker doesn't do that. He's much more interested in networking properly. Thank you, Aaron. The intentional networker, that it is so transparent what they're doing, right? Does that grind me? Grind me so much? It's so tacky.
So you know how methodical I am in a lot of things, dude. So I would actually jump on a call with people and understand a little bit more about like their partners and like their family. And so I'd like save the family's name in my contacts on my phone. So it'd be like, these are the kids' names and then like the kids' birthdays. And I'd send like a creepy message of like, hey, say happy birthday to your daughter, Sam. And it was like, hey, motherfucker. Like, no, that's creepy as hell.
And then it's like, oh, also nice new car in the driveway. And they're like,
where are you? I'm just here. You free for a coffee now? But yes, like there was, dude, I got to that level.
People go too far. They really go too far. And I'll make a suggestion here, right? I can appreciate when someone's doing New Year's messages or birthday messages, right? They're putting effort in because they want to enhance their network. But because of the nature of what they're doing there, the only thing that's coming from that is just like, hey, I'm here. Yeah. I just want to remind you, look over here, I'm still around. And it's like, that's not networking or value creation.
Totally.
Where if you're doing it in a way that I would more suggest, the way to network well is to be so immensely valuable to your network. Right? Do you want to be someone who's going to be sending out those messages and being a creep like Grant? Or do you want someone to be someone that people can come to because you can help them? You solve immense problems. Like you actually add value to what they're doing past reminding them of their kids' birthdays.
Which could be helping them because if they forgot, Charlie, I was there to remind them. I was the guy that was helping them remember their child's birthdays.
Can I go with mistake number 2 on this one? This isn't a mistake list. We're just starting here. I don't know why. It just came out. All right, I felt it.
All right, go.
All right, so the next thing I see with networking is for some reason people believe it needs to be like an even relationship.
Oh, yes.
It's like, all right, Grant, I'll contact you this time and you contact me next time, and then it's a 50-50 thing. All right, it's got to be even. And like notoriously my finding is that if you want to have a great network, you want to lead that. You want to be the driver of it.
Yep.
Like it is almost like, I'm going to say 90% of people who are into networking or want to have a strong network are waiting for someone else to contact them.
It's like, dude, it's like attractive women or men. They're sitting there waiting. And it's like,
yeah, but if you're a 20-year-old attractive woman in a nightclub, you're probably going to get contacted. You don't need to, like, I can understand the setup of environment.
Yep.
right? Do you think Elon Musk really needs to work on his networking? He is the equivalent of that in the business world today, I would imagine.
Totally. He is the hot chick. I get it.
Exactly. And that would be the really big key difference there, where it's like, if you're just like, I want to have a great network, I do, but then you're not the one leading that and putting effort into it, it's not going to happen.
Totally. We could continue on these mistakes forever, only to like, actually, you know what? I'm going to go a third one.
So I got one as well, so we're going to keep this going. Go for it.
We'll get to the episode at some point. So one of the things that I did, so it didn't take me very long to realize that I wasn't doing networking very well, Charlie. Just put it out there.
How did you come to that conclusion?
That people weren't turning it to sales. And like these weird things was like, hey man, like congratulations, like happy birthday on your kid, or hey, it was your wedding.
Did you just develop like more friends?
I had an abundance, right? And so then what I did was I'm like, well, this isn't working. I spoke to one of my mentors and it's like, you just got to add value. So then I just started adding value to the point of like never asking for something in return. And so I was this guy that was like the Ask Jeeves.
Well, then how would anyone know how to help you?
So I just gave out free information. I just help anybody on anything, just never get paid for it. And I was just like the hired gun for any problems you had, but for free. And so then I had everybody pinging me with their problems. And I'm like, well, now I'm screwed.
And you've set the expectation of not paying you as well, right?
Totally, because there's this fine line in sales of like giving enough information where they still don't know what to do, where I just give them everything. And they're like, oh, thanks. And I'm like, wait.
People do this in other worlds as well, right? I know how many course creators that their free course is so good that people won't buy their product.
Yeah, I know, right? Their resources are so valuable. And it's just like, man, I'm still implementing what you gave me for free. Like, I haven't done that yet. I still haven't got the value. But yeah, that was one of my mistakes, was I just overcorrected completely.
I'm going to go one more here. We'll touch on this later, and then we will actually talk about how to do networking right.
Okay.
It's interesting, though, the point you made around the idea of like having a measurement point is like, if you're networking with the idea that it should turn into, in your case, growth for your business. And that's not always the goal, by the way. Like for some people, networking is more about setting up joint ventures, for example.
Totally. Or ideas and things like that. Like
completely. Or a risk mitigation. Yep. It's about knowing something or having information or intel. But the point I make on that is like, at least you had an awareness that this isn't working. So the idea I have, or the last point I'll make here, is I think many people get into networking, they build a network and then just think something's going to come from it at some point. And it never does. It ends up being a network they hold on to, and then they're maintaining this network and not recognizing opportunity cost, because networking is not something that can be unlimited, right? You only have so much capacity for human relationships.
I got a friend who has got the biggest network, and we both know him. He's got the biggest network I've ever seen. Like literally, like the Lord Mayor of Melbourne on speed dial. Like literally that.
All right, I know who you're talking about on that comment now. I got you. I actually got you. And I agree. It's impressive.
Amazing. But none of it's commercial. So he went and started a business and told his entire network about it, and just like no one bought anything, because they're a network of this individual is going to help me on these couple of things, but they were never there to sort of help the individual out. Like, and it was really weird. Like, he was so excited. He's like, oh, the whole network's going to support me. And everybody did, but just not with money. They just gave him verbal support and stuff.
It challenges a lot of people, the idea of having intentional relationships for business. Like,
totally.
It's like they get the whole like friend thing, and they know how to be a friend to a degree. Yep. And for this person, I would argue they're a phenomenal friend.
Huge, amazing. Yep.
But when it comes into being intentional about a relationship in business, which can still have friendship components, like I will admit, I would consider I'm friends with many people who are in my network, but there's like this, actually, I'm not even going to say it's unwritten, because I make it very clear in what we can expect from each other, but it's like, it's very intentional around, in your example, business growth. Yep. Or sharing ideas, or whatever it is that exists in that way.
Yeah, I find, it's another one of those, it's like a tightrope. Like, you can lean one way or the other way. Because have you met anyone who was like only transactional? Like, I've got so many people that have hit me up where it's like, if I can't extract money out of you, we're not friends.
Oh, can I put something around this, please?
Go.
You see, I do that as well, where you can't say no to it because we're on the podcast now as well.
I'm like, no, next one.
Yeah, so if you're Elon Musk, you can do that. So if you are so immensely valuable to someone else's network, you can literally do that, right? You can set the terms of entry to the network.
Hey, fellow business owner, if this topic and value-packed short video has resonated with you at all, and you want to dive deeper into creating wealth inside and outside your business, check out the full episode by clicking the link on your screen or in the description right now.